In this sample problem, we are asked to write the net ionic equation for the reaction of a copper 2 sulfate solution with zinc metal. So we're going to start by writing this out. We don't know what's being produced, but if we write it out, we'll probably be able to see the form and predict it. So we have a copper 2 sulfate solution and we have solid zinc. Now this, we have an ionic compound and we have a metal. It looks like a single replacement reaction. So that means it's going to produce zinc sulfate and copper. Thankfully, the numbers are all balanced. This one's a fairly simple one to balance out, so we don't have to muss around with any of the math. Now, what we want to do is we want to write out all of the possible ions that are present here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ionize my ionic compounds. Copper 2 sulfate is going to turn into copper 2 plus and a sulfate ion. The zinc, though, is solid, so it's going to not do anything. It's going to remain solid. On the other side, zinc sulfate becomes a zinc ion, again sulfate ion, and the copper stays as is. Now remember that the ions and the elements are not the same thing. Those charges make a huge world of difference. But if I remember all of my numbers, you know what is the same here? We have sulfate on both sides. So the sulfate on both sides means that the sulfate isn't interacting with anything else. It's a spectator. So we can eliminate it. Now I'm going to rewrite the equation without the spectator ion. So the net ionic equation for this reaction is Cu2 plus, aqueous, reacts with solid zinc to become aqueous zinc ions and solid copper. So the net ionic equation is pretty simple. Just take some practice to figure out.